didn't get a chance to play in a lot of those games last year, but all around the league, captains, yourself, Patrice Bergeron, had just had great first rounds. I don't know if it's putting pressure on yourself, but how much responsibility do you feel as a captain to put up points, to make those plays with that C on your chest?
Well, there's obviously a lot of responsibility that comes with, being a captain or assistant captain in this league. It's a huge honor, and you want to, go out there and do the things that you're preaching, in the room, or that the coaching staff is preaching, the winning habits. So, I don't think there's really, pressure. I mean, come playoff time, all you want to do is win hockey games. So it was fun to see how well we played throughout that series in the first round. And, now we get to the second round. It's just another step closer to the end goal. But, you want to go out there and do whatever it takes to win. And the teams that are advancing, usually, their leadership group and the guys that need to step up have stepped up. And we definitely saw that in the first round for us.
Ed and Cena.
Hi, Steven. It seemed like every game that you guys had in that first round, the capacity of the arena that you were playing in increased almost game by game. You guys are going to be in front of 15,000 in Raleigh. Do you feel that? Do you feel that increase in the intensity of more fans in the stands, or does it just feel good just because there are those fans?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, you can sense the crowd, especially when you're at home. I thought the last game was amazing for us, but Carolina has some pretty amazing fans. You know how loud they can get, so it's going to be a great atmosphere. I think once the game starts, you're not really paying too much attention to that, but it certainly helps in terms of the intensity of the games. I think even if you've seen some of the games that haven't had fans this year in the playoffs compared to the Nashville Carolina series or us in Florida, I mean the intensity just looked more, whether it was true or not, just because of how crazy the fans were. So it was definitely fun to be part of that, and looking forward to playing these games coming up here in Carolina and then back home where we've added some more fans. So it should be great.
Joe Smith.
Hey, Steven. I think Coop was mentioning just how they play kind of a fast break style of game, full court pressure or full ice pressure with I was wondering what's the key when you're playing a team like that? I know you guys you have to play fast too, like to be able to go in transition, but what's most important when you're playing a team like that and having success?
Well, they got a lot of skilled forwards. They have a lot of fast forwards. So, they play the game really quick. Their D get it up quick. So it's about just trying to, not create turnovers, where we're giving the puck up in the neutral zone. That's just feeding that transition for them. So I thought we had a good game plan last game. And that'll be something that we look forward to trying to duplicate here coming up. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we're more worried about what we have to do as a team, what to do, what not to do, and just let our experience kind of take over from there.
Dan Rosen.
Steven, I wanted to ask you about the Kucherov effect. And by that, I mean, he doesn't play all season. So teams, even when you play them so much, they get used to playing the Lightning without Kucherov throughout the regular season. He comes in, obviously plays great against Florida. And I don't know if it's something that you guys just took advantage of or it caught them off guard a little bit. But do you think it had an effect that he hadn't played them all season and now it was a completely different look? And can it be the same against Carolina, or because now they have some video of it, is it change?
Well, maybe if it was his first year in the league, I'd have to agree with that. But teams should know what Nikita Kucherov brings each and every night and what he can do. So I think regardless of how many times they played him this year, as we've seen before, on the good side and the bad side, the regular season means nothing. You get into the playoffs, and I think when you add a player of that caliber, I can't speak to what they thought he was going to be able to bring, but he's a world-class player. And, he put in the work like I talked about before the series or after game one when everyone was kind of surprised how well he looked. It's not really a surprise to us because we see the work that he puts in every game and every practice. So I think teams have enough tape on Cooch over the years to understand what he can bring. It's one thing to watch it on tape. It's another thing to try to go out there and execute to stop it when a player is, that smart and ahead of, most players on the ice in terms of what he's thinking. So, like I said, I can't speak to what they thought, but it's certainly nice to have him back in the lineup.
Do one more for Stephen. Eric Francis, go ahead.
Hey, Stephen, just wanted to ask you, how would you characterize the season series between these two teams this year? What type of hockey did it generate, and how close was it?
Well, I think it was really tight games. I mean, that's the best team in our division, according to the standings this year. They deserved, everything that they got. They were an up and coming team a couple years ago, and they're a contender now. So it's, like I said, the regular season doesn't mean much. You get into the playoffs and it's a different animal. It's a blank slate. But if anything, this team is a legit contender. We know it's going to be a really good series if we can play to our potential and they can play to their potential. Again, probably expecting a long one. Their forwards are really good. They're really fast, but they work. And that's something that separates a lot of teams come playoff time is if your guys can go out there and execute, but also do the right things to win games at this time of the year. And they certainly do that. Their defense are extremely, good skaters, solid defenders, and whatever goalie they've had in net this year, they defend well. So the goaltending has been stellar as well. So it's going to be a fun series. It's going to be a little different, I think, in terms of the flow of the game to what we saw against Florida. These guys are really good at both ends of the rink. Their attention to detail and they just work. So it's going to be a challenge for us, but I think we're looking forward to it.
Thank you, Stephen, for your time.